What if I told you that the secret to transforming your entire existence isn't found in grand gestures or life-altering decisions, but in something so small you might be overlooking it right now? In the next 10 minutes, you'll discover how the power of compounding small actions works differently at every stage of life, and why a child stacking blocks holds the same wisdom as an elder planting trees they'll never see grow. Here's what might surprise you. The smallest action you take today could be the very thing that defines who you become decades from now. But there's a twist that most people miss completely, and it happens in your mature adult years. Today, we're exploring the profound truth that Lao Tzu captured perfectly. Great acts are made up of small deeds. This isn't just ancient wisdom. It's the operating system of human transformation. Watch a 4-year-old with a set of wooden blocks. Their eyes light up with possibility as they place the first block down, then another, then another. Each placement is deliberate, focused, complete in itself. Small hands reach for another block. The tower grows, wobbles, stands. The child doesn't think about architectural principles or structural engineering. They simply know that this block, placed right here, right now, makes their creation a little taller, a little more wonderful. When it tumbles down, they don't see failure. They see another chance to start building. This is where we all begin learning that little by little, a little becomes a lot. The Tanzanian proverb speaks truth that children understand instinctively. Every bedtime story read becomes a foundation for language. Every please and thank you practiced becomes the groundwork for relationships that will span decades. In childhood, small actions feel enormous because they are. Each new word learned, each rule followed, each moment of kindness shown is literally rewiring a developing brain. The magic is that it doesn't feel like work. It feels like play, like discovery, like being fully alive in this moment. But as we grow older, we sometimes forget this simple truth about building. At 16, Maya started writing one paragraph in her journal every night before bed. Just one paragraph. Her friends thought it was pointless. What could 90 words possibly matter in the vast complexity of teenage life? Pen moves across paper in lamplight. Another page turns, another day captured. But teenagers are living Peter Marshall's wisdom, whether they realize it or not. Small deeds done are better than great deeds planned. While some classmates talk endlessly about the novels they'll write or the changes they'll make, Maya simply writes her paragraph. Each entry seems insignificant. Complaints about homework, excitement about weekend plans, confusion about friendships. But something profound is happening. She's creating a daily practice of reflection, of putting thoughts into words, of showing up for herself consistently. The teenage years are when we first start to grasp the weight of choice. Every conversation shapes reputation. Every habit practiced or avoided begins carving the person you'll become. The compound interest of character is accruing, day by day, choice by choice. But here's the challenge teenagers face. Small actions don't feel important when everything in your world feels urgent and dramatic. The text message sent in anger seems more significant than the daily kindness shown to a younger sibling. The grade on tomorrow's test feels more important than the study habits being formed. Yet the most life-changing transformations are happening in the quiet moments. At 24, James makes a decision that seems almost trivially small. He sets his phone to charge in the kitchen instead of next to his bed. This means he has to use an actual alarm clock. It also means he can't scroll through social media the moment he wakes up. Phone placed on kitchen counter. Bedroom becomes a sanctuary again. This tiny change ripples outward. Without the immediate dopamine hit of notifications, his mornings become calmer. He starts reading for 10 minutes before getting up. Those 10 minutes become 20. Within 6 months, he's read more books than in the previous 2 years combined. Aristotle understood this progression. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Young adulthood is the construction site of life, where the foundation is still being poured, while the framework of dreams reaches skyward. The stakes feel higher now, because they are. Career paths are crystallizing. Relationships deepen into partnerships that might last lifetimes. Financial habits formed in these years will compound for decades. The young adult who saves $50 a month isn't just building a bank account. They're building the neural pathways of delayed gratification and future thinking. But there's a tension here. The pressure to make big moves, to achieve visible success, to prove yourself can make small actions feel insufficient. The daily workout seems less important than landing the perfect job. The weekly call to parents feels less crucial than networking at industry events. The wisdom that takes time to emerge is this: those small, seemingly mundane actions are what make the big achievements possible and meaningful. Yet it's not until we reach full adulthood that we truly understand the multiplication effect. At 42, Lisa starts bringing homemade cookies to her team meeting every Friday. Just cookies. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive. She simply noticed that people seemed tired, stressed, disconnected from each other. Flour dusted on kitchen counter. Smiles spreading around conference table. Swami Sivananda's words echo in moments like these. Put your heart, mind, and soul into even your smallest acts. This is the secret of success. What Lisa discovers is that success isn't always about climbing higher. Sometimes it's about lifting others as you climb. The cookies become a ritual. People start arriving to meetings 5 minutes early. Conversations happen. Team members begin supporting each other's projects differently. The entire department's culture shifts, almost imperceptibly at first, then undeniably. This is mature adulthood's unique perspective on small actions. You finally see how your daily choices affect not just your own life, but the lives orbiting around you. The patience you show your teenager, the consistency you bring to your work, the way you treat service workers when you're stressed. All of it matters more than you previously understood. C.S. Lewis captured this perfectly. Good and evil both increase at compound interest. That is why the little decisions you and I make every day are of such infinite importance. The mature adult grasps this weight without being crushed by it. You realize that your children are learning more from watching you load the dishwasher with care than from any lecture about responsibility. Your colleagues are influenced more by your consistent integrity than by your occasional moments of brilliance. The compound interest of small actions is now paying dividends you couldn't have imagined, while simultaneously investing in a future you're just beginning to envision. At 78, Robert walks the same path every morning, 2 miles through his neighborhood, stopping to pick up litter along the way. His grown children worry he's becoming obsessive about trash, but Robert sees something they don't yet understand: weathered hands lifting discarded paper, path becoming cleaner day by day. He's living out Confucius's wisdom. Success depends on previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be a failure. But the preparation now isn't for his own success. It's for the world he's leaving behind. Every piece of litter removed is a small gift to the joggers who'll run this path tomorrow. Every smile shared with passing neighbors is a tiny investment in community fabric. Every story told to grandchildren is a seed planted in soil he'll never see fully bloom. The elder's understanding of small actions completes a circle that began in childhood. Like that 4-year-old with blocks, the elder knows that each small deed is perfect in itself, valuable, not for what it builds toward, but for what it is. Buddha taught, we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. The elder has learned that we are equally shaped by our smallest actions, that we become what we repeatedly do, even when no one is watching. Robert's morning walks aren't about staying healthy anymore, though they do that. They're about modeling for his grandchildren that caretaking is a daily practice, that small actions, repeated with love, create the world we actually live in. The child stacking blocks and the elder picking up litter are engaged in the same sacred work, making something a little better, one small action at a time. Great acts are made up of small deeds. But perhaps the greatest act of all is simply recognizing the power that rests in your hands right now. Every stage of life offers its own invitation to start small, stay consistent, and trust the compound interest of care-filled actions. Here's what you can do today. Choose one small action that aligns with who you want to become. Make it so small, it seems almost silly not to do it. Then do it tomorrow and the day after that. Let the Tanzanian proverb guide you. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. Notice how this small action feels different at the end of the week. Pay attention to what it teaches you about yourself, about consistency, about the quiet power of showing up. The blocks are in your hands. The path stretches before you. The seeds are waiting to be planted. Your great acts are calling, and they're made up of the small deed you choose to do right now. What will that be?